Yeah, we got wrestling.
At least we got
lockouts.
Yeah, there's no lockouts.
Get fired. Or the company shuts down. It's one or the other.
It's one of two things. Either the company that you work for stops being a company, you get fired, or sorry, you're released, or one day, or you have a heart attack at 42. There's 3 ways out of professional wrestling, and I think that's I can't think of any more.
Yeah, and I mean, this generation, they're all wrestling into their 40s now, so they're not dropping dead as fast.
Yeah, and I feel like also, and I have no way to approve, I have no way to like prove this or whatever, but either there's far less steroids, or the steroids are just like, because it's been 30 years, they're more refined and they're cleaner and they're a little safer. I think
probably both.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, I think, there's definitely guys that do stuff, but there's probably some that are pretty clean.
Like steroids 30 years ago was probably, who knows what the hell is going on in there. Now they have some of the tops, they have top scientists looking at steroids. Yeah.
Doctors monitoring levels and doing things, and the recreational drugs.
It's 2022, people. It's 2022. You don't think
they're partying less pills.
Oh, yeah, probably less, and probably, less cocaine. I think
a lot more video games now. They play video games.
Yeah, and they're vlogging. You can't be on cocaine when you're doing Sammy Guevara's vlog.
No, everyone would know.
What's up? I'm Ethan Page. And today,
I'll mention it later. I thought Tony Khan looked a little maybe coked out when his brief appearance, but maybe that was just me.
That might have been.
He's
just
always
you.
A little hyper. Maybe just Tony Khan, but it wouldn't surprise me.
No, he's a bad. Tony Khan's not on cocaine. He's just a bad talker.
But I'm sure he'll
get better. What are you going to say? He's never partied in his life? Of course, everyone.
No, I said I'm sure he's got access to cocaine anytime he wants. If he wants.
Yes.
I'm not speaking. Okay.
Tony Khan is always one phone call away from getting cocaine. And maybe we'll see it this week. On the Shoot Brothers Wrestling Podcast, episode 179, 76. Oh God, I had it right. 179. I was right. I was right. My name is Cameron Osborne. His name is Mike the Shoot Shepherd.
Bam.
What a big week. Big week in the professional wrestling world, because we had Revolution. Revolution 2022 was this week. WrestleMania. It's on the
WrestleMania.
I had people I don't talk to texting me about the road to WrestleMania. People saying, is this for real?
Oh, were they asking about Stone Cold?
They're asking about all sorts of people. All sorts of things heading down.
Pat McAfee.
I have
Johnny Knoxville.
I have the Vince McMahon episode downloaded onto my on my phone. It's there. It'll be listened to, but I am looking forward to it.
Yeah, I saw kind of the highlights. I didn't watch the full show, but I'll probably sit down and watch it because.
I'll listen.
Yeah,
I'll need to see.
Yeah, or I mean, I'll listen. Yeah, I don't need to actually watch it, but. Yeah, I mean, Vince doesn't do many sit-down interviews where you have the power to ask him whenever you want.
If any.
Yeah, very few.
So let's.
But yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to everything. We got lots, as we said. Revolution, AEW never fails to put on a hot show. Although, if anything, last year's Revolution was the one little blip in my heart. But this year definitely didn't have no troubles, no failed pyros, no barbed wire shit gone wrong. Had lots of weapons, lots of violence, and it all delivered. I think we'll get to that.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it. But let's kick off our week the way that we always do, which by crowning a brand new Tweet of the Week champion. It's the Tweet of the Week. It's the Tweet of the Week. This week on Twitter, we are awarding now two-time Tweet of the Week champion 2K Games. 2K. So the developer of the new WWE game. and
NBA 2K.
They make NBA, all these sorts of things, and NHL 2K10 with Alexander Ovechkin on the cover. That's for real. But 2K, I guess the game's coming out, so they had to tweet, or they've just been tweeting updates. Here, get the game here, pre-order it from here, and then in a series of tweets, now playable in WWE 2K22. Alexander Wolf, Arya Daivari, Billy Kay, Braun Strowman, Brian Kendrick, Cesaro, Danny Burch, Ember Moon, Fandango, Grand Metalik. And then there was like a follow-up tweet that said Isaiah Swerve Scott, Jeff Hardy, John Morrison, Johnny Gargano, Kalisto, Karrion Kross, Keith Lee, Kyle O'Reilly, Lana, Lince Dorado, Mia Yim, Murphy Nyjaks, Oni Lorcan, Peyton Royce, Samoa Joe, Slapjack, Tegan Knox, Tony Storm, Tucker, Tyler Breeze, and William Regal. Tweeting out their still playable characters. I saw this and just immediately thought to myself, the amount of man hours, the amount of grueling time, end cuts. What's the word I'm looking for? Time, shit needs to be done on time. This game needs to come out. Deadlines. Thank you. Yeah. But you were too busy getting all the little, tiny curls in Nia Jax's hair. And then one day you wake up, she's been fired. 2K Games, though, now two-time Tweet of the Week champion.
Yeah, I mean, you get more wrestlers with your game, so that's good, right?
Yeah, you kind of get everyone, and then presumably still the current people.
I wonder. I guess the license. I don't know. You've already licensed for that edition of the game, whether you're with the company or not. They can still use you in the game. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I wonder what the rights are there, because I get they owe your name, but then it's a whole likeness thing.
Because part of them is probably happy. They're like, well, Bryan Danielson's in AEW, but he's still in our video game. Daniel Bryan or something.
That's a good point. Daniel Bryan. They bring. Do you think they would bring back? They put out these download packs. You get Sergeant Slaughter and 99 Kane or something. You get all these vets or whatever. Do you think they'll have a CM Punk download? They have the long hair Punk. And then WWE champion Punk.
Probably not, because I feel like he'd have to sign off on that.
Yeah, I wonder what the rule is there.
You can certainly download them. People always upload online creations. You can download any star you want.
Any star you want, baby. Congratulations, 2K Games, and let's get into the show. We were talking about it earlier. Let's get into the biggest show, the first show of the AEW season. Right? Their calendar year.
Yeah, first pay-per-view of the year.
Their calendar, their big 4 major event. So let's start talking about some Revolution 2022.
Review. Well, I think there's a couple little things we should mention before that.
Please do.
That happened in the lead up to Revolution, our go home week, if you will. We won't mention everything, but of course there was a big announcement that was promised. So the show started off, Dynamite, Tony Khan comes out. He just gets right to it. He thanks all the fans for being here, and he announces he signed a deal and become the new owner of Ring of Honor Wrestling. So that's pretty cool. And with that, he gets the whole tape library, all that. So footage of CM Punk, Samoa Joe, Bryan Danielson, all these amazing matches.
Yeah, it was weird that he felt the need to say that.
And also, up to this point, Ring of Honor owned the footage for All In, the first pay-per-view, so now they can have that in their library.
Oh, seriously? Yeah. Damn, that was a good pay-per-view. That's a big win. That's a big win. Some type of, I'm sure, and some sort of inevitable AEW network.
Yeah,
type of thing, and some kind of I feel some kind of online capacity. Probably not for Canadians though.
I've heard rumors of HBO Max maybe cutting a deal with that.
Oh, really? But see, that is also different between here and the States. There are HBO Max shows that aren't licensed here in Canada
Yeah,
so they're really on in the States. I know. I want to watch the other two, season 2. Come on.
But yeah, so we don't really know what's gonna happen. Apparently, Tony Khan wants to book Ring of Honor as well, so he's already got a lot on his plate. We'll see what. I don't know. Maybe that'll be like. Maybe they should get rid of one of Dark or Elevation and kind of put Ring of Honor there. I don't know.
Ring of Honor becomes the YouTube show. Well, hey, I'm sure that that would.
I mean, I don't know. I have no idea what the plans are.
Yeah, I'm sure that would do it better or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, we don't watch Ring of Honor, right? This is the way that it could maybe be brought into our sphere.
Yeah, I mean, so many of the guys on the roster cut their teeth there. So they even had a nice little battle of the Daniels after Christopher Daniels, Bryan Danielson, is a ode to the first ever Ring of Honor main event. So that was fun.
An ode. So, yeah.
And then we had a second tag team battle royal. But this one was like a Royal Rumble, the Casino Battle Royal. With 30 men in this Battle Royal. But I guess the big news was, what was it, the return of Darius Martin? Or did he
Darius Martin, Dante Martin of Top Flight. He was out, I think it was ACL tear or something.
Yeah, he was gone for like a year. So he looked good, but at the end, the Young Bucks got the win. So they go to Revolution.
Young Bucks are going to Revolution in that tag match.
Yeah. And then the other big thing was CM Punk coming out for the promo, and just one last promo, but then MJF comes out, and what was it? Yeah, he punched him in the head with a diamond ring, and that's what busted him open. And it was a gusher, this blade job that CM Punk did.
Yeah, it was the diamond ring that did it, Mike.
Yeah.
It was the diamond ring.
He was wearing the T-shirt with him and Punk on it and just smeared blood all over it.
AEWshop.com. You can buy your very own with no, seriously, it's that shirt, but with like...
No, I saw, yeah.
You saw it.
With a smeared stain, or not a real smeared stain.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyways, that was all the big hits from Dynamite. And then on Rampage, Sammy defended his TNT title in a 3-way there. So, and then we got... Was Rampage? Is that when they debuted Eric Redbeard? I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they the Pento, Skira, and Pac came out, and they're like, here's our monster, and they bring out Eric Redbeard. So he'll be fighting on the card, and then we got our final spot for the ladder match when Christian Cage beat Ethan Page. So no mystery opponent. We just didn't know who it was going to be.
It was just a question mark. It was never meant to be a question mark.
Yeah, that was just us.
But yeah.
Let's just jump.
Leading up to Revolution.
So let's rev the engine and jump right to the
pay-per-view, baby.
Through Saturday into Sunday. They kind of hop back and forth. They do Saturdays and Sunday pay-per-views. But we got a buy-in. Did you watch this buy-in?
I caught up on the third match. 3 matches on a pre-show.
Yeah, it was a big buy-in. The third match was pretty much the only one that you needed to watch. The first one, I felt bad. There wasn't even like anybody in the crowd.
That would have been, 7 p.m. Right?
Yeah, I feel like they opened the doors late or something because it was quiet. Felt bad, but Layla Hirsch
or
beat
maybe
Chris
they just
Statlander.
opened the doors and then went ding, ding, ding.
Maybe.
So people arrive to wrestling.
Like there was literally nothing, like 100 people. But anyways, Layla Hirsch wins that match. Hook comes out after, so a bit more people are there. Everyone loves Hook. He gets an easy win on QT Marshall, remains undefeated. And then the good match, the big match, we got the House of Black. 3 of them with one of the coolest entrances in AEW. They all had the skulls with the deer antlers and shit.
Yeah, like the Young Bucks skull. Dead skull, dead buck.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Dead buck, something like that. Look cool. And yeah, they take on Penta, Pac, Eric Redbeard, who I heard them call Eric Rowan probably a dozen times. Even Excalibur was getting slipping on that.
Yeah, it's too close. It's super close.
Mm-hmm. But match itself was just a lot of fun. Just they didn't treat it like a buy-in. They went on. They gave it their all here. And if it was up to me, I probably would have switched this with another match. But doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Good stuff here. Buddy Matthews looking good in his debut. Pac and Penta. What's the manager, Alex or
Jose? No,
Jose,
or is that?
It's Is it Alex Wait, which one's Alex? No, it's not Alex Marvez.
Yeah, no, but one of them. Fuck no, I'm thinking of Andrade's guy who slaps everyone with an iPad. I think that's Jose. Is it Alex Abrahantes?
I think. Okay. Yeah, I think it's that one. Anyways, he's got some new gimmick now. He's like this dark priest. I don't know. He's doing his thing. Eric Redbeard, though, looking pretty good in this match, hitting some cool new moves. He does like this power slam that turns it into a cutter midair. So, looking very smooth here. Yeah, just a bunch of crazy moves. Eventually, Redbeard comes in, goes on a roll, tries to do a double choke slam, but midair, Malachi Black hits him with the black mist right in the eyes. And then Brody King comes in, picks him up, hits this crazy sit-out pile driver, and gets the pin. House of Black get the win. House of Black
stays strong. Actually, this was a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun. They were the perfect combination for each other.
Yeah, you had the big guys hitting some cool moves, lots of little flippy shit with the Pac and Penta and those guys, and yeah, two cool groups. Still don't understand the
long too. This was half of minutes. That whole. I felt like this was half of that whole buy-in.
Yeah. Like I said, this could have fit in on the main card easily beside any other match. But, they all did good. And great. I thought Redbeard looked very good in his debut.
His in-ring debut for AEW.
Yeah, just looked like he could look a bit smoother, a bit quicker than his WWE days. But it's been a while, so who knows? Who knows? Maybe they just didn't let him have his chance back then.
Yeah, maybe the AEW camera puts on 2 seconds.
But let's get to this main card here, brought to you by DraftKings, who are all over the show.
All over the ring, sitting behind JR, and then the commentary team out back there.
The barricade, the railings, everything.
I didn't know you were allowed to draft on wrestling. That feels like that's super...
I mean, yeah, you can gamble on it. There's got to be some crazy regulations.
Because I was going to say, who's to say that? I don't know.
I mean, Tony Khan sees a good odd and says, hey, I'm going to bet the house on this one. But let's start off with Chris Jericho taking on Eddie Kingston. Everyone's singing Judas, and then Eddie comes storming out. He's not fooling around here. And the crowd's just real hot as he instantly hits Jericho with a big suplex, drops him on his head. So crowd mostly on Eddie Kingston's side here. So Jericho starts giving them the finger, playing into it. Kingston gets a thumb to the eye. And I don't know, either he was selling it really good or he got him because it looked like it was swelling up a bit. But, yeah. Anyways, Jericho just starts throwing everything at Eddie, hits a lion salt, kicks out of that, locks in the walls of Jericho. Eddie gets out of that. And then he gets mad. He gives Aubrey a little shove, so she shoves her back. Everyone pops for that. And then, Eddie hits some more big suplexes. The Hurricane back fist, but Chris kicks out of that. And then he pulls out a code breaker, but Eddie kicks out of that, so he's kicking out of everything. So Jericho's got one last move. The big one goes for the Judas effect, but Eddie ducks that, hits another Hurricane back fist, and then he locks Jericho in the stretch plum. And as he's wrenching Jericho's arm back, he's got nowhere to go, no choice but to tap out. So Eddie Kingston with the biggest win of his career.
Possibly the biggest win of his career. And I didn't expect him to I didn't expect him to be a submission victory.
No, the submission itself I thought could have looked a little bit stronger. Didn't look like he was wrenching hard enough.
I also didn't realize that they virtually have the same finisher.
Yeah.
For a second I said to myself Eddie Kingston's going for the Judas effect. And I was like, oh wait, no, Chris Jericho's going for the spinning back fist. Wait, it's the same move. Very, very, very similar. But congratulations to Eddie Kingston. But after the match, Eddie Kingston went up for that handshake that Chris Jericho had promised him, and Chris Jericho said, you can read his lips. He's like, I can't do it.
Yeah, he refused. So not a man of his word, and just more heat being added to the heel fire.
And if Eddie Kingston is nothing else, he is a man of his word. and that's not respectful. That's not how you respect a man like that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna hear a great promo on Dynamite this week about respect and the like.
Yeah, but he got the win. Can't take that away.
Absolutely not.
So up next, we got a triple threat tag title match. Jurassic Express defending against Red Dragon and the Young Bucks. Only 2 guys are supposed to be in the ring at the time, but this is AEW, so every match is a tornado tag.
every match, every tag is a tornado tag.
Pretty much, but that doesn't stop it from being
DQ.
Yeah, it's just nonstop, constant action. Guys coming in and out, hitting their spots, flips, high flying, double team maneuvers all over the place. Red Dragon and the Young Bucks were working together for a lot of the time, but they realize both teams want to win it for themselves, so they start breaking up each other's pins, and eventually they come to blows. Kyle O'Reilly grabs a tag title belt, nails Jungle Boy in the head with it, makes the pin, but Jungle Boy kicks out. So this is when the Bucks grab him, hit the BTE trigger, but then Kyle O'Reilly breaks that up. Luchasaurus comes back in to help out his partner, and that's when they just go on a roll. Eventually hit the Jurassic Express on Matt, and that gives them the 3. Retain the titles.
Yeah, I loved the can the Bucks and Red Dragon work together angle.
Yeah.
Having having a only 2 teams in the ring at a time kind of creates that little bit of a thing. It was of course all the action's going to break down, but what else did you expect?
Yeah, but yeah, a lot of fun match. And we'll get some more tag match later. But let's go on to this Face of the Revolution ladder match with the giant ring hanging above the ring.
The giant ring. The brass ring.
Not a wrestling ring, a golden ring. Yeah, brass ring that looks golden. But what that ring gets you is a TNT title shot. So let's bring out Keith Lee, Powerhouse Hobbs, Wardlow, Ricky Starks, Orange Cassidy, and Christian Cage. So we got the big and the small. Kind of half and half there by the end of things. But yeah, Orange Cassidy starts off doing his usual stick. He's kicking, doing the stiff kicks, but then he had one of my favorite spots of the whole match where he picks the ladder up on his shoulders and he's spinning around, knocking guys over, and then Wardlow and Hobbs come in. They each grab a side of the ladder and then they lift it up, but Cassidy hangs on and he skins the cat, pulls himself up and over on top of the ladder and almost reaches the ring just like that.
He grabbed it. He grabbed it.
I mean, he had a hand on it. He almost had it.
Yeah, that was so much fun. That was the crowd, and I mean myself included. They blew up. That was a fun moment for everyone.
Yeah, but unfortunately, he slips, crotches himself.
That spot later on in the match, because that was super early. Maybe a little too early.
It was a little too early.
A little too early. Like that spot later on in the match, that would have been huge.
Yeah, because either way, very memorable moment. Lots of other fun ladder stuff. You had Powerhouse Hobbs walk up a ladder, hit a big superplex. Ricky Starks does a cool spot where he dives through the ladder, through the middle of it, hitting a nice diving spear. At one point, Keith Lee picks up Cassidy and throws him over the ropes to the floor, and I think guys were supposed to catch him, but he just went flying, landed hard on the floor. And Wardlow, a lot of our picks to win. I think he was probably the crowd favorite, just super over everything he was doing. Mr. Mayhem here. Everyone was loving it. But there was one questionable moment where he kind of cleared the ring out. He was all alone. The crowd's going wild. But then he decides to jump out and go to the floor. I don't know if you noticed that. That was kind of...
I don't think I did. Was there a ladder in the ring?
There was, and he kind of he could have gone, but didn't matter. They wanted to get a couple more spots in, so they go up the ramp. Wardlow and Hobbs grab a ladder and they tear it in half like a wishbone and just start smacking guys with that. Then Hobbs and Lee fight over to the announce table, and Wardlow runs in, knocks them off the stage through a table, so they're out of the match now. And back in the ring, Ricky Starks tries to climb a ladder when Danhausen runs in and curses him and runs off.
Classic,
want
classic Danhausen. Classic Danhausen.
Well, that's the thing. I need to know, who is this guy? I know who he is, but I want to see more. I want to see a promo or a match or something.
We should search. You should search. YouTube, like on a match.
Well, I know,
YouTube.
but I shouldn't have to. I want them to tell me. I want to know what he is. But anyways, the curse works because Starks, he's at the top of the ladder, and there's another one set up horizontally across from it. So Wardlow jumps up underneath Starks, picks him up, power bombs him down onto a ladder, and that's an ugly landing for a guy that just came back from a broken neck. But with that, Wardlow
Ricky
was all
Ricky
alone.
Starks had a broken freaking neck.
I think so.
Shit.
Maybe like a fractured vertebrae or something.
Okay, maybe I don't remember that. He's been the FTW champion for he's had the belt for so long.
Yeah,
feels like years.
But I don't think. But with that, Starks is out. Wardlow's all alone. He unhooks the ring and gets the big win. So he's earned himself a TNT title shot at Dynamite in San Antonio, Texas, whenever that is. But they've got a date set.
Oh, they already. Yeah, they. Oh shit! I must have missed that. Yeah, this.
I didn't hear when. They just said Dynamite in Texas.
Yeah, huge spots here for everyone. I think the crowd was stoked for everybody right now. The Wardlow face turn. This could be step one.
Yeah, I mean, certainly we'll see some more later in the night. But yeah, I think he was the crowd favorite to win. I mean, everyone loves Orange Cassidy as well. If he, if that had been the ending, that cool flip up spot, none of us would have complained.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He can win another multi-man match and also be fine. Yeah,
he's always going to be.
He's so over. He is so over.
Yeah, and I mean, it'll add an interesting wrinkle with the whole MJF contract thing, and will he try to take the title from Wardlow if he wins or anything like that?
Yeah,
questions to be answered. But in between matches, Tony Schiavone comes out to make an announcement. We've got a new contract signing. And I don't know if you caught it, but he had a clipboard in his hand. And it spoiled the announcement. He was waving it all around, and I could see the word "swerve" written in big letters. And that's who it is. We get Shane Swerve Strickland, formerly Isaiah Swerve Scott, coming out. Just looking sharp like he does. Got a nice suit on. Crowd's chanting "Swerve." He cuts a quick promo, says whose house? They say Swerve's house. So he's already got his catchphrase. There you go.
Was this a thing before where he says whose house? Swerve's house?
I don't remember.
Because the entire crowd knew exactly what he was talking about. He just said, I have one more thing to say. Whose house? And then like 30,000 or however many thousand, but just in unison all went Swerve's house. Like I would have picked it up for the second. I think I would have picked it up definitely for the second one. Probably after Swerves, I would have been like, "Oh, this is a house. I get it now."
Well, I think briefly when he was cutting his promo, there was a chant of "Whose house? Swerve's house. Whose house?"
Okay, yeah, because it was huge, and then he comes back again. Yeah. Whose house? And then 30,000 people just scream, "Swerve's house!"
Yeah. Either way, he looked like a big deal, which is nice, and we already know he can wrestle, so it'll be cool to see who he links up with.
Looking forward to it.
Let's go to this TBS title match. Jade Cargill defending against Ty Conti, and Jade looking real cool, dressed as Jade from Mortal Kombat. So perfect cosplay.
Huh. Okay, I didn't get that at all.
And also had a live guitar player, some guy named Kingfish Ingram.
I guess so. I guess he's the one who plays on Jade Cargill's theme music. Interesting.
I guess so.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
It worked. Sometimes those things don't work. Sometimes they do, and this was one of the ones that did. Yeah,
it was much better than the Fozzy.
The Fozzy guy. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of specifically.
But Jade was really over, I thought, here. It seemed like this crowd. I mean, I thought Ty Conti might have been the babyface going in, but it seemed like they were more on Jade's side. From my ear.
I guess they like her.
Yeah, I mean, she's cool. But, Conti puts up a pretty good fight. Hits a big senton to the floor, taking out Mark Sterling. So Jade says, all right, I'll take out your friend, attacks Anna Jay. But then a bit later, Anna Jay would get revenge. She actually nails Cargill in the face with a chair. The ref didn't see it. Conti rolls her up, only gets a 2. But that was a big near fall there. And right after, she hits the DD tie, and Jade kicks out of that as well. But this is the closest anyone's come to putting Cargill down. But that's as close as she'll get because Jade fights back, hits a nice frog splash. Conti pulls out one more big move with a spike pile driver. But, Cargill just gets up again, finally hits the Jaded, gets the win. 29-0. TBS champ.
For over 2 months now, she's been the champion.
Yeah, I think they're gonna go for the Goldberg. They're gonna try to get her to 100. Whether she'll make it, I don't know.
But she needs to stop. She needs to start facing more Ty Contis.
Yeah, hopefully
and
this
less
is...
people that might just be a dark match or a quick squash on Rampage or something.
They'll have to do those though as well to pad the numbers a bit, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? At this point, though, no signs of slowing down for Jade Cargill.
I think that's probably a better record than even any of the top male stars have ever had.
Yeah.
At least
lost.
Everyone's lost eventually. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but let's keep the action going. We got MJF taking on CM Punk in a dog collar match. And at the beginning, MJF comes out to Cult of Personality, kind of fake out the crowd there. So CM Punk does his own special entrance with a Ring of Honor throwback. He comes out to AFI. He has his classic basketball shorts look. So, just turning back the clock a little bit there.
Turning back the clock. I didn't know what was happening, but then I think I got it eventually.
Yeah,
I think I just kind of put the clues together.
Yeah,
in my head,
I knew enough. Like the song hitting didn't make me go freak out, but I was like, oh yeah, I know.
Also, it was a very somber song. It's not. It didn't sound like the type of thing that makes you want to go woo.
Yeah, it doesn't have that pop. Yeah, that initial guitar riff.
Yeah, the initial. The glass. It didn't have a glass breaking or.
But we got the action. They chained the guys together and. Right off the bat, they're just using it as a weapon, smacking each other, tugging, yanking, choking, whipping. You can see the welts appear right away. MJF wraps the chain around his fist and punches Punk right on that stitched-up wound from a few days prior. And just like that thing opens right back up. And,
There's probably a bit of help. It probably had a bit of help.
Yeah, I'm sure that was probably... He probably was like, all right, let's not sew this up too tight so I can just open it up again. So he comes up. The Crimson Mask is everywhere. MJF goes to the side and says, give me a fucking mic. And he gets a microphone and he just starts berating Punk as he pounds on him. And Punk just tells him to eat shit. Starts fighting back and the blood is just leaking everywhere. Punk works over MJF's hand, starts stomping away with the chain, and he wraps the chain around his knee and hits a big shining wizard to MJF's face, which then busts him open, but not to the extent of Punk. That was an all-time gusher. That one. It was bloody. It was Dustin Rhodes levels of blood on there. Maybe. But both men just beaten and bloody. They fight their way out onto the apron. Punk hits MJF with a tombstone pile driver, spikes him hard onto the apron there, and back in the ring, soon after, MJF pulls out the bag of thumbtacks, pours them out, superplexes Punk onto the tacks, but most of them end up going in Punk's ass.
I noticed. Yeah, there was a bit of an awkward landing. It always sucks. It always sucks in a thumbtack situation when the guy giving. The guy on offense ends up getting the most tacks.
Yeah, it's but there'll be another landing later. So he pins Punk, he kicks out, and the poor referee Paul Turner, after he made the count, you see him go fucking.
Yeah, so he gives a big bam to right onto attack, and I was like, dude, my guy,
that's gotta hurt.
Gotta wear thicker gloves
you're
next
slamming
time.
down. Yeah. But MJF, at this point, this is when he calls out Wardlow, who comes strolling down, and he says, give me the ring! But then Wardlow starts checking his pockets. Can't find it. So MJF's like, what the fuck? Punk pulls the chain, yanks in MJF, hits the GTS, and MJF lands right on top of the tacks. And the way he sells is just great. Just the shock on his face. Yeah. And then with Punk down on the mat looking right at Wardlow, the Ward Dog, he reaches into his pocket and he goes, here it is. And he puts the diamond ring right in front of Punk and he walks off. The crowd is going nuts for this babyface move from Wardlow. And Punk puts on the diamond ring, grabs MJF, who still won't go down, just spits in his face. So Punk finishes him off with the big punch and gets the 3. Excellent bloody match. And a bloody excellent match. Yeah, in both ways.
Yeah, This was crazy. It was so much different from just like that ladder match we just saw. Ladder match, all spot, no story. There was in this match a minimal amount of those high spots, used to really kind of like poke, really hit bits of action here, and then finally we get the big one, the Wardlow face turn.
Yeah, a lot of things to come out of this. MJF and Wardlow's relationship. I mean, is this feud? They both have 1 win now. Do they go back one more time? Who knows? I don't know. Or does MJF go after Wardlow now? Is it time for that? There's a lot of ways they can go from here.
Yeah, well, and it should be noted, though, too, after the match, CM Punk stood up on the ropes, cheering on with the crowd, and he did the belt around my waist motion. He did that. He did the... Can you picture it?
Of course.
Can you picture what I'm doing right now? Because I'm doing it.
Yeah. No, these are the 2 guys that I would pick for my next title match would be MJF or CM Punk. So
CM Punk,
who knows?
CM
Maybe they
Punk,
do have to have that.
Pat Adam Page.
I mean, one of them's got to go for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, great match. We'll find out on Dynamite if that's the end of the feud or not. Mm-hmm. Who knows? But let's continue. Britt Baker defending her AEW Women's title against Thunder Rosa. And the championship title itself has been updated once again. I didn't notice. I was just kind of sitting there like, wait, what? Because in the wrestling world, things will happen, and there's a lot of things that happen in the wrestling world. Sometimes you don't retain necessarily all the information. What's Penta's assistant's name? I don't know. I don't have that much space to retain this little shit. Yeah.
But no, I wasn't off. They changed it to bigger. It's bigger now.
Yeah, a bit bigger, a bit more rounded. Looks nice.
Mm-hmm.
Black, gold and black, traditional. But the match itself, some big expectations for me, for a lot of people after that lights out match. And unfortunately, it didn't get that close to that for me. But I mean, it was still fine. The wrestling was okay. Nothing too crazy. No blood, no weapons, nothing like that. But crowd was pretty split, cheering for both of these women. Rosa hits a nice tombstone pile driver. We saw a couple of those tonight. I think we saw like 2 or 3 tombstones.
Yeah, a couple. There's one on there was an apron tombstone. There was a middle of the ring tombstone. Yeah,
and of course Rebel starts distracting the ref, and Jamie Hayter slides the title belt into the ring. Baker curb stomps Rosa face first onto the belt, but she's still able to kick out. But then just more interference continues. So Rosa has to hit a suicide dive, taking out Rebel. She clotheslines Hayter, but then when she slides back into the ring, Baker hits her with a curb stomp, gets the 3 to retain. And yeah, I was disappointed. Just too much interference. It's become, I don't know, it's ruining this title reign for me, for Britt Baker recently.
And like you said, big expectations.
Yeah, right. I mean, I've heard rumors that Rosa might be injured a bit.
Yeah, they felt like they were holding back.
Yeah, it definitely was not.
But
no,
not the big. And I think the big thing you said at the interference, just turned into too much of it. Now that there's 2 of them, when there was just Rebel or Reba
Either or.
And she didn't know how to do anything. Like, now there's just two of them. That's just like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah. No, this, it's souring me. I mean, this time last year, Britt Baker, I'm like, yeah, she's the top dog, but now I think I'm ready for her to drop the belts because...
Yeah, well, I think by AEW logic, Jade is a babyface because she's a champion. She has her like lawyer guy, but I'm not even calling him to be enough for distraction.
Yeah.
And so by AEW logic, heel champions win by distraction / have cronies. Look back, it all checks out, and babyface champions don't. So there we go.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that was that. We'll go on to Jon Moxley taking on Bryan Danielson. Just some excellent wrestling here, as expected. Just great back and forth reversals, submission holds, tons of stiff strikes, just slaps to the face, chops, all sorts of stuff. They fight their way to the floor. Both men go for a headbutt, and then they conk heads, which gives them the opportunity to pull out the razor blade.
Pull out the razor blade!
Because we were promised this was the one match we were guaranteed blood.
Yeah, this was the one where he said, if I bleed, I bleed together, or something like that.
Yeah, so they both come up. They're leaking oil, but Moxley a little bit worse than Bryan there. But fight goes on, just more great back and forth wrestling and submission work. Bryan hits the Busaiku knee, but Moxley kicks out of that. So he locks him in the triangle sleeper, the one that's ended so many matches recently. But Moxley's able to roll through, and he rolls right over, pins Bryan's shoulders down, gets a 3. Just like that. Bryan is pissed off. He's yelling at the ref. So Moxley gets in his face, and they keep fighting. So security comes running out, but they just toss them away. And that's when Sir William Regal comes storming down the ring. Big pop from the crowd for him. They're chanting, holy shit. Everyone's going nuts. He just kind of gets in both men's face, gives them a slap, stiff slap, just to kind of, talk them down. And he gets the two men to shake hands. So this is exciting. William Regal, he's obviously here in AEW, but what's his role? Is he a manager? Is he going to work with these two? What's he going to do?
And this, for a lot of people, I bet this was the most exciting moment of the night when he just kind of started when he just started walking down the ramp there.
Yeah. Because there's like 1 second where you're like, who is that? And then you see like, oh, Regal.
And the way he slaps Moxley just like a dad disciplining his son. And then Daniel Bryan is the bratty little brother who's like, ha, you got slapped. And Regal's like, yeah, slap.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah. And then,
what's he gonna be? What is he going to be? I think whatever it is, this is a huge get for the week to week TV of AEW. I was half expecting for him to, come down. Or somebody gives him a mic and he says like, "It's about bloody time. Somebody keeps runs the ship over here." Like something, because the only thing Dynamite has missed that manager on screen type personality that works. We know it works.
This could still lead to that if that's.
That's what I was just expecting. I was like, yeah, he's gonna announce he's the manager right now. I'm like, that would be big. That would be big. He was just the manager, and he was doing a pretty damn good job over there. Yeah,
we'll see. But awesome match, great ending there with Regal coming out, and does this mean Bryan and Moxley are a team?
They shook hands. Yeah. And they bled together.
Yeah, he didn't say you have to beat me. He just says I want to bleed with you.
So by Moxley's own logic,
they should be a team.
They should be.
Maybe they could challenge Jurassic Express at Double or Nothing or something. Build to that. Who knows? But let's go to 6-man tornado tag match. We had AHFO taking on Sting, Darby Allin, and Sammy Guevara, the 2-belt asshole. But
he's still doing it.
Still doing it. I'm gonna call him an asshole until he stops. But 6-man tornado tag. And also, it's apparently no DQ because there was tons of weapons and stuff. Yeah, so we got chairs, garbage cans, people getting smacked around with those. Yeah, they fight their way up into the crowd. We get tables set up on top of the ramp. So Isaiah Cassidy climbs up on top of the entrance tunnel, but then Sammy Guevara climbs up after him. He grabs him, hits a crazy Spanish fly off the tunnel through the tables. Yeah, it looked like a hard landing too.
It looked I mean, I think it was from like 10 feet up. Of course, it looks.
Yeah,
like
one of the tables didn't break, so and it's not. Yeah, looked stiff, but then we cut to the other side of the arena where the Butcher and the Blade have come out to help the Hardy family, and they set up 4 tables stacked 2 by 2. But then it's fucking Sting, the 62-year-old man who dives off the balcony onto Andrade, crashing through 4 tables at once. Holy shit, the crowd says.
Holy shit.
Yeah, crazy stuff here from Sting. Then we go back to the ring. It's down to Darby and Hardy. Darby hits a scorpion death drop onto a seated chair, which crumples it up. And then Darby climbs the ropes, goes for the coffin drop. And for some reason, I don't know why, Matt Hardy decides to sit up right in the middle of the move. So Darby barely grazes him with his head. But they still sell it. Makes the cover, gets the win.
No, I don't think that's what happened. I think Matt Hardy was too far out.
But he moved at the last second.
I think he tried to move in because he realized. It looked like
he moved out.
Oh, okay, yeah, whatever it was, like he barely.
Yeah. Either way, yeah, he didn't. He barely grazed him. They didn't really say anything. They kind of showed the.
Of course, yeah. It's that's the coffin drop. That's the shtick. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was just this made no sense and it was complete mayhem, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
This was fun.
The Sting spot, the Sammy spot, the 2 big table jumps were fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. You need to kind of match like this between your 2 big matches. So.
Well, yeah. So let's just get into the other match. Our main event: Hangman Adam Page taking on Adam Cole Baby. All the fans know all the words to Adam Cole's song because there's like 4 of them. I was like. It's actually a great song because it just kind of repeats, it's all about the boom. Adam Cole Baby. It's all about the boom. Adam Cole Baby. And I was like, yeah. And then kind of like instrumental break and then boom. Adam Cole Baby. It's all about the boom. I was like, wow, this might be one of the best songs ever written. One of the best professional wrestling anthems ever made. A lot of these guys are in the ring. A lot of great crowd moments.
He had a Spartan gear on. He was Master Chief, Adam Cole.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I didn't really get it. I get where it's from, but I'm like, you're not Master Chief. What's that about?
Yeah, this has never come up before in the past. A lot of great crowd stuff in this one. Let's go, Adam.
Let's go, Adam. That was my favorite.
a lot of that. Those types of things. So the crowd was having a lot of fun this entire match.
Yeah, I'd say they started pretty 50-50, but near the end, I thought they might have even been leaning towards Adam Cole a bit. But it's hard to say. There was just a lot of chance, a lot of Adams.
Mm-hmm. There was also a lot of Fight Forevers. So
yeah, Fight Forever. This is awesome. We just got a 25-minute plus main event match here, and yeah, just real crisp, smooth wrestling. Hangman hits a big power bomb on the apron. His moonsault to the floor. He goes for another moonsault later, but gets super kicked in the face midair, upside down. That great spot. And then soon after that, Hangman hits a tombstone pile driver. So that's our third
tombstone. I thought that move was trademarked by WWE.
I mean, maybe it's their tribute because Undertaker's going in the Hall of Fame this year. Who knows? But Hangman Page is doing a little too well. So Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly come out to back up Adam Cole. That's when Cole hits Hangman with a Panama Sunrise on the floor, spikes him down hard. And then the Red Dragon, they distract the ref. Well, Cole hits Hangman right in the balls, which allows Cole to hit another Panama Sunrise, and Page just sells this. Well, he just jumps on his head, basically. Spikes himself down.
Just jumps on his head. That's what he does.
Yeah. And then Cole follows up with the boom. That could be it. But Page kicks out. So the crowd's going wild at this point. Just let's go Hangman, Adam Cole, dueling chants, Red Dragon, they grab the timekeeper's table, move it over to the apron. But it's Hangman who picks up Cole and hits the Deadeye off the apron through the table. And then this is when the Dark Order come out, chase off the Red Dragon. So Hangman's all alone. He hits the buckshot lariat, makes the pin, but Cole gets his fingers on the ropes. So we're still not.
His index.
His index finger on the ropes. So we're still not done here, but Hangman wants to finish it. So he takes off his belt, ties Cole's hand to the rope, super kicks him in the head, and then he steals Cole's move. He hits the boom, and then he finally finishes things off with another buckshot lariat, bridges into the pin, gets the 3, retained the belt, in a very good hard-fought match.
Yeah, and what was like easy, it was one of the easiest to follow matches we saw all night. It was so easy to follow exactly what was happening. This was great. It's great to see the heavyweight championship in the main event of your pay-per-views. I also like that because you don't always see that.
No,
sometimes,
always,
especially if it's a gimmick type pay per view. I mean, I guess we just came off of the Rumble. You have Money in the Bank, except for and sorts of things like that. The Survivor Series.
Yeah, but AEW doesn't have a lot of those. I mean, they've had the Lights Out match main event at pay per view, I think, but for the most part, it's usually the world title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes it feel very important.
Yeah. No, it's good stuff. Another awesome pay-per-view here from AEW, as usual. And pretty much every match was fun in their own way. It's hard. I don't even know what my favorite match was. It's hard to say. Yeah,
every match was good. Every match was a little unique, which was a lot of fun. It's always great to see Revolution do their shows. I'm sure they'll have they always like to pull out a show for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, I think they've already announced
a St. Patrick's Day slam. A slam, a jam. We don't know what it is. That was a great pay-per-view. Let's keep moving on through the week. Let's go back in time a bit before we take a break here because we have some stuff to cover on the road to WrestleMania. Let's shift on over to Smackdown Live. Okay, folks, it's Friday night. It's time for Smackdown Live. It used to be on Tuesday, but then I think it was on Friday before, though. No, wait, we used to film it on a Thursday and then release it. It's just Smackdown Live.
That's right. We've got the new Intercontinental Champion, Sami Zayn, coming out to defend his match, or to defend his title against Ricochet. So, fighting champion right off the bat here. And, pretty fun match. Sami hits a big suplex on the apron, landing Ricochet high on his neck. But then Ricochet just fights back, starts doing his crazy flips, dives all over the place, has the crowd hot. But Sami regains control until Johnny Knoxville comes out, which distracts Sami. So Ricochet runs in, hits this crisp Hurricane Rana right into a pin, and he gets the 3. So big win, new champ, Ricochet.
Yeah, champ Ricochet. Big smile on his face. Never seen the man happier.
But Sami Zayn got screwed once again. I mean, he makes a good case. There is a conspiracy. There's no reason for Johnny Knoxville to cost him the title here.
Yeah, I guess we're kind of 2 manias in a row. His gimmick really hasn't changed much from the documentary crew being around. It's pretty much still the same gimmick, and he's doing it just as well.
And I mean, it took him like 2 months to even get this title shot, and he got screwed on that Universal title shot. He really does get screwed over a lot, our poor Sam.
Yeah, and he brings it up to us. He's like, do you guys notice how I keep getting screwed? And Vince is just sitting back there because it's funny.
Yeah. Then we see a couple clips from Vince McMahon on the Pat McAfee show, and the 2 big news pieces were that Vince McMahon announces he will be the one inducting Undertaker into the Hall of Fame. So that should be interesting. And then later on, he offers Pat McAfee a WrestleMania match. Does not say against who at the time, but Pat accepts. So Vince will reveal that later tonight.
former rookie of the year shooty champion or something like that.
Yeah. Our best celebrity appearance.
Best celebrity appearance. Maybe a bit of both.
Maybe a bit of both. Austin Theory comes out because he says where Vince McMahon goes, I go these days. And he cuts a promo on Pat McAfee and reveals that he is the opponent for WrestleMania. And then just smacks McAfee's headset off his face.
To a chorus of boos.
Yeah.
Booing because we love Pat, maybe? And booing because you're burning one of your 5 brand-to-brand invitationals. You just burned one right there.
I mean,
yes.
Vince McMahon can just hand them out. He's got a wallet full of them.
But the Shoot Brothers...
Okay.
We're the moral compass around here, Mike.
Well, either way, this quells some of the rumors that Vince McMahon was going to be stepping into the ring himself.
God, who said that?
I heard it.
Okay.
But, I mean, who knows? I imagine he still might be in the corner. He might get physical, maybe throw a punch, take a punch.
Maybe.
We'll see. In-ring action, Naomi takes on Carmella. Carmella's still doing the terrible mask gimmick. Selena tries to interfere. Sasha takes her out. Naomi pins Carmella.
Yeah, I hesitate to say that wearing a mask is a gimmick, so I'm just going to say, yeah.
Backstage, Corbin and Madcap are playing poker with a bunch of random dudes, and Madcap does a Drew McIntyre impression and says, I quote, "The other day, I thought I saw the Loch Ness Monster, but it turns out I just pooped in me bathtub." That is 5-year-old Vince McMahon humor right there. I pooped in my bathtub, and I thought it was a Loch Ness Monster. Well, you think it's funny.
No, I think hearing you say it is funny because you said it. The words came out of your mouth just like they came out of Madcap's and just like they came out of Vince. It's literally funny shit.
To him, it is. To him, it's not like stupid. It's amazing.
It's literally funny shit.
Drew McIntyre takes on Jinder Mahal. We haven't seen much of, but not that I'm complaining. Drew gets the easy win. Nothing to it. No. Rick Boogs comes out to play Nakamura, but then the Bloodline just beat the shit out of him. I don't even know why they came out, because the Usos are the ones that are supposed to have a match. They take on the Viking Raiders for the SmackDown tag titles, the match we never got in Saudi. And it was pretty good. They go back and forth, a bunch of near falls, had the crowd pretty hot. But eventually the Usos hit the 1D to get the win, retain the belts.
Yeah, what's the deal? What's the deal with the, I guess we're just doing this now? Because this has been like a month of...
The 1D?
Yeah, this has been like a month of them...
Yeah, it's their move now, I guess.
It's their move now, I guess. Yeah, so these guys are strong. These guys have been champions for probably 200 days now, right? Maybe Boogs and Nakamura, maybe they're the two to step up to the plate.
Yeah,
Boogs is pretty hot. Boogs is pretty hot right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll want to have Boogs do a big WrestleMania, play guitar there, do something.
Oh, that'd be cool.
At least for an entrance. I don't know. But, yeah. Up next, we had Big E taking on Sheamus. And outside the ring, Kofi Kingston was just messing around with the ATV, just honking the horn. So Ridge Holland comes up, smacks him with a chair. Then he starts smacking the poor ATV. And then back in the ring, Sheamus beats down Big E. And, him and Ridge Holland just drive off. They steal the ATV. The match never even started. And then they take it backstage and just smash the thing up with sledgehammers. So.
Yeah, I guess a classic no contest. Okay.
Yeah, whatever. Short-lived ATV. But the main event for this episode, you had Ronda Rousey taking on Sonya Deville. At this point, I think we can say Sonya's back to being a regular competitor, which is very nice to see. So hopefully just more wrestling from her. Charlotte Flair comes out to watch, tries to distract Ronda as much as possible, and it works for a little bit. Sonya gets some moves in, but Ronda fights back and just goes on a roll, hits the Piper's Pit, locks in the armbar, and Sonya quickly taps out. And then afterwards, Charlotte gets in the ring, takes a swing at Rousey, but she ducks, catches Charlotte in the ankle lock. Charlotte screams, taps out, and then limps away.
Yeah, I think this was definitely. I think this was better. I liked Ronda Rousey here better than the Saudi match, for sure. Personally.
Yeah, I liked the use of that ankle lock there, adding that new submission to her game, kind of throwing Charlotte off.
Yeah,
a bit.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like is when Ronda does the armbar. She always says, "Who wants a souvenir?" Like, what are you gonna do? Break off her arm?
I was gonna rip the arm off and throw it off to a child in the crowd.
Yeah, I'm like, cool, a severed limb. But anyways, yeah, Ronda did look pretty good here and closes out SmackDown, and I think that closes out the first half of our show.
Yeah, that's the first half of the show. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. What do we have? All the Monday Night Raw action, NXT Roadblock.
Yeah, it ends up being quite a roadblock.
So you're gonna wanna stick around.
Let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, yeah.
Back here with part 2 of the podcast. Thanks for sticking out through the break here. As we make our way through the professional wrestling week, as we always do, we've made our way through the weekend, through the glorious Revolution, and now it's time to the flagship show in professional wrestling. And I don't even, and I mean across the board. Name to me one professional wrestling show that's been on for longer. I dare you.
I mean, I do not accept this dare.
Of course, I must be talking about Monday Night Raw.
Let's get raw. Let's get raw.
Monday Night Raw, and we open with some highlights from that Madison Square Garden house show.
Okay, so yeah, house show on the Madison Square Garden. Brock Lesnar was going to be there, but that's all we knew. But you think if they were going to air it, it would be like footage.
So I think that there's some sort of, like, Madison Square Garden has their own union that, like, if you want to film something there, it's a different set of rules than
Really?
So maybe just like picture. I don't know. All I know is that there's something weird with Madison Square Garden.
Interesting. Okay.
But yeah, either way, they show us some clips. Brock Lesnar. I mean, they were like, he's gonna fight Bobby Lashley, but probably not. So Lashley wasn't there. It ended up being Austin Theory, who gets destroyed. Lesnar wins, and then Roman Reigns comes out, beats the shit out of him, even busted him open. He was bleeding a bit here, Mr. Brock Lesnar.
Been a lot of blood in the last couple days.
Yeah. I don't know if this was intentional or not. Maybe because they weren't on TV. He's like, I can bleed. No one will fucking know.
No one will know. No one will see it.
But anyways, to the live show now. Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens come out because they're in that tag title match tonight, and they promise to win. Punch their ticket to WrestleMania. And Kevin Owens continues to just slag on the state of Texas, and Otis and Gable interrupt. They're shushing everyone, and eventually RK-Bro come out because it's time for this triple threat tag title match. So, but the rules are a little bit different from the triple threat we saw on Revolution. For this one, we've got one member of each team in the ring at a time, and you can only tag your own team. So, a little different there.
I like that. I like this little take on it.
All 3 guys at once is cool. So the match itself, pretty good here. You know, tons of talent in this ring, and everyone gets their time to shine. As the usual, Riddle gets isolated. Orton gets the hot tag and goes on a roll. He hits Rollins with the RKO, but Owens breaks out the pin. And then Orton just starts tossing everyone onto the announce table one by one. And he gets to Otis, so Riddle comes and helps him and lifts him. And yeah, this table doesn't break, though. It took like 4 men on it. It still didn't break. But
what? Sometimes these tables, you know?
If it was Toni Storm, she'd look at it.
She would just quick exhale.
She is Storm. She has the power of wind.
Power and flight.
And Flight. Speaking of, maybe we'll see her show up sometime soon.
And the new X-Men movie? Sorry. No.
And All Elite Wrestling. But anyways, yeah, Riddle hits a floating bro on Gable, but that pin gets broken up, so everyone just jumps in. We got bodies everywhere, dives to the floor. Chad Gable comes in, starts hitting some awesome suplexes on Riddle. Then Gable climbs up to the top rope, goes for his moonsault, but midair, Randy Orton runs in, catches him with the R.K.O. We've seen a lot of RKOs, but this was one of the most
This
beautiful.
is an all-timer.
Yeah, I mean, the timing has to be so perfect. Both guys, they just hit it. I don't think Randy's never messed up one of these ambitious RKOs, to be fair.
Yeah.
He always hits them.
You know, like this guy, the one on Matt Sydal.
Yeah,
One on Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Yeah, like every time, and that's the thing. And this happens every couple years, right? When we say to ourselves, "Oh, Randy, it's just a cutter. There's only so much you can do." He finds a way.
Yeah, so that was just an amazing moment. Crowd popped big for that, but he can't make the pin because Owens super kicks him, and then. Him and Rollins just go on a run. They hit their super combo, stunner, curb stomp. But then Matt Riddle runs in and just tosses Seth away, steals the pin, gets the 3. So just like that, RK-Bro.
And new.
Once again, tag champs. And a very fun match.
Yeah, fun. You were right. At one point, Seth Rollins got a one, or Matt Riddle kicked out at 1. Seth Rollins pin, and Kevin Owens can be heard in the background yelling, "That was 3, ref." that was
Owens is hilarious.
A lot of little notable highlights like that. But yeah, that RKO was damn impressive, and this whole thing. We had some promos before the match, and the match itself. This whole thing took up 45 minutes, a third of the goddamn show. Easy.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even complain.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, great stuff. And, I mean, Randy Orton, you'll throw your hat in the ring, spot of the year for that RKO maybe. Didn't even need weapons or anything. Just a straight up crazy
God. When was the last time?
It's very early. It's very early.
When was the last time a spot was just a good old-fashioned spot, you know?
Yeah, just a crazy move. I don't know. But, yeah, great match. Afterwards, RK-Bro get interviewed in the ring. And Randy says, "I've never had so much fun in my career than I do here with Riddle. And I'm going to say the F word for the first time in my 20-year career. This man is my friend." And so, yeah, showing us a side of him we'd never seen. And he says, "I wouldn't want to be out here with anyone else. We're going to WrestleMania, baby." They hug. They celebrate. So, yeah, I mean, maybe WrestleMania is when you have the big breakup angle because it's got to happen sometime. I mean, maybe not, though. Maybe they're selling lots of
But he has a friend for the first time in his life.
He's a friend. He said the F word, so I don't know. But either way, they have punched their ticket to WrestleMania.
Yeah, you love to see it. What a great way to kick off Monday Night Raw for sure.
Yeah, I mean, all of a sudden, the Raw tag division's looking pretty good. You got couple different teams that are all kind of hot at the same time. Street Profits lurking in the background. So, hey, let's keep it going.
Yeah, amen.
Unfortunately, you got to cool things down a bit, though. So, Dana Brooke took on Tamina, 24/7 title. Dana counters the Boston Crab, gets the win, retains. There you go. Then after The Miz comes out in his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio, so they are cheering the hell out of him. And early on, he's being super babyface. He gives respect back to the crowd. He's loving him. He brings out his buddy and fellow Cleveland native, Logan Paul. Didn't know that, but yeah, the two of them just cut a promo on the Mysterios, and then they bring out Jerry the King Lawler, who gets a big reaction from the crowd. And Jerry says, "Hey, Miz, let's have WrestleMania here in Cleveland." But Miz says, Cleveland's not exactly a WrestleMania city. So the crowd turns on him as he turns on them, and him and Logan Paul leave.
Johnny Gargano, also from Cleveland.
Hey, recently a father. I think Candace had her baby. So who knows? Yeah, good for her. Johnny Watch continues.
Yeah, we're still on Johnny Watch.
Still on Johnny Watch.
I guess
but we know,
I guess no. I think now we're on Johnny Watch. Now that he's had
Now that the
the
baby's
kid's been
born.
had, we're kind of that
maybe
little
I'll-
one step closer to
Yeah, give a month or two to get things settled in, and then we'll see. But his former partner, Tommaso Ciampa, is out next, and he's with Braun Breaker, making his surprise Raw debut here.
Now I have no clue. I don't think this is a brand to brand. I gotta say.
This is just an emergency call-up or something? I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, so the two of them taking on the Dirty Dogs here, and Breaker looked a bit more fired up, I'm sure he knows he's got more eyes on him. 3 times the audience, roughly. 4 times, I don't know. But I'm sure there was a good chunk of people here that probably didn't know who he was yet, but hopefully he made a good impression, and after this match they'll know, because showing off that good strength, picking guys up with ease, eventually hits Ziggler with the press power slam to get the win. So hey, he's
big first win on the main roster here, I guess.
Yeah, better than Karrion Kross.
Yeah, your record is already better than Karrion Kross's, I think.
Then we got Omos. He cut a quick little promo and took on Apollo Crews, and just another easy win. And then after he tells Commander Aziz, "You're next." So,
You're next, but not like a cool "you're next."
no, just in his own mouth, like, "You're next."
Well, Omos, I think, still are our favorites to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Yeah, I mean, assuming it's still a thing. No one's mentioned it yet, but it kind of just gets thrown on there anyways.
Yeah.
Rated R superstar Edge comes out next, and he's got a new entrance. His regular music plays, but then it just kind of cuts off, and he's got blue lights and no music. And the
slicked back hair.
Yeah, slicked back hair. And the blue light stays on the whole time, like he's the Fiend, just for his whole promo. He's just, talking about his vicious attack on AJ and says he did it to help him. Because I want to bring out the best AJ. I want the best opponent I can get. So that's it.
And yeah, it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense for him to, Edge's return in WWE has not been the celebration he would have wanted. I mean, he won a Rumble. I'll give him that. He won a Rumble, but he's lost every opportunity that he's had. I
Don't know. See how that one shakes out. But we go backstage. Kevin Owens is interviewed and says he's had an epiphany about his WrestleMania match, and he will share this plan later tonight. But before that, we go to Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley teaming up to take on Carmella and Zelina. And if Liv and Rhea get the win, they will be added to tag title match at WrestleMania. So, good opportunity here. Match was pretty decent.
Okay.
In the middle of it all, though, Carmella just abandons her post to go talk with boyfriend Corey Graves. So Zelina's just like, what the fuck? And Liv runs in, hits a code breaker. Rhea hits the riptide. They get the win. And just like that, they're going to WrestleMania. So
just like
nice,
that.
Liv Morgan getting her first, I'm sure, match on the card at WrestleMania.
Well, so Carmella and Corey Graves have a new reality show.
Yeah, it looks terrible.
Like,
I think it's a YouTube show.
Aren't all the WWE reality shows terrible?
I mean, Total Divas had its moments.
Had its moments.
Yeah. Bryan Danielson, like you've never seen him. But yeah, anyways, they're going to WrestleMania. We get an announcement that Vader is going into the Hall of Fame. So it's more than just The Undertaker, but
yeah, weren't we thinking for a second there that it might have just been
maybe,
Vader?
because I'm sure they could fill out an hour and a half of just people talking and then him talking.
Oh yeah,
Make it like a
of
roast.
course they could.
Just make it the roast of the the new United States champion Finn Balor comes out to take on Austin Theory. The battle of the long lost brothers here, and pretty good wrestling. They go back and forth a bit. Finn gains control. He climbs to the top rope looking for the coup de grace when Damian Priest shows up, attacks him, causes the DQ, lays him out.
So
they're
yeah,
not done.
that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. It's okay. We'll still, Damian Priest. He's got to figure it out.
Yeah, it was hard to tell if Damian Priest was getting like legitimate heat, or because now that we've been through the edited era, I don't know what to. I gotta take everything with a grain of salt. Are they pumping in crowd noise? Are they editing in crowd reactions? I don't know.
The final segment of the night, Kevin Owens comes out to talk about his plans for WrestleMania. He says, I want to have the biggest KO show in history. And since it's in Texas, we need a local legend. So he talks about the many Texas legends, Shawn Michaels, JBL, Booker T. But no, I've got the perfect guest. And he's probably out of shape from drinking beer all day. And even when he did wrestle, he had to wear braces because his knees were shot. But I'm calling you out, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Well,
so that was...
Well, is Stone Cold going to answer the call?
Well, the next day, Stone Cold made a personal video and posted it somewhere on social media, I guess. And he said more than Kevin Owens said, because Kevin Owens' wording was, let's have the KO show. And then when Austin responded, he's like, yeah, call it a match, call it a fight, call it the Kevin Owens show, I'll be there. So he was dropping hints that maybe this could turn into a match or something. Who knows?
Battle of the Stunners?
Yeah. Either way, they have not said match, but it's confirmed. Stone Cold will be at WrestleMania.
Wow.
I mean, maybe you do the interview night 1, set up a match for night 2. Who knows?
That'd be cool. But is Stone Cold going to take the Stunner?
I'm sure he could take a Stunner.
Yeah. When was the last time he had a match? 2003?
19 years ago. Yeah. But, I mean, he's in great shape. He looks like he's in great shape.
I'm sure he's in fine. Yeah, I'm sure he's fine, but...
Yeah.
It's a long time to go without doing something. Like, if you didn't play if you, Mike, didn't skate for 19 years, you'd be a bit wobbly that first time back out, right?
I don't know. I think I could be pretty crisp.
Immediately pretty crisp.
As long as the skates are sharpened, just do some crossovers.
That was a good analogy. And that was the entirety of Monday Night Raw. Really can't wait to see what Stone Cold has to say heading down the stretch.
Yeah. Either way, we know he's going to be there. We know he's going to drink a lot of beer, and fans are going to be happy. So
let's get to our last show of the week, which ends up being a hyped up show because we're talking about NXT 2.0 Roadblock.
NXT, what does it mean? I don't know, but it's some good wrestling. So NXT, watch and see. Out a tap, out a count, out of 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, just kind of gave it to us out of nowhere, but some big matches taking place here. We got Dusty Cup semifinal action. Wendy Chu and Dakota Kai taking on Cora Jade and Raquel Gonzalez to start things off. And crowd chanting for Wendy, but Raquel not amused by her little sleepy tactics and just beats her down. And Cora and Wendy do the hamster ball spot where they're just wrapped up doing the pins, just rolling around for a bit. Later on, Gigi Dolan and JC Jane come down and they attack Raquel with a pipe, take out her knee. The old Galooly incident.
The old Galooly!
So she's down. Cora Jade's got to deal with some 2-on-1 action for a bit. But Raquel comes back in. She starts fighting with one good leg. She has a showdown with former partner Dakota Kai. But the bum knee is just too much to overcome. And Wendy Chu hits her reverse splash, tags in Kai, who hits a double foot stomp off the top. And that gets a 3. Huge win. Upset here for Dakota and Wendy.
Big upset. Well, I think when we saw the bracket, we almost said to ourselves immediately that Raquel Gonzalez and Cora Jade are going straight to the finals.
Yeah, but that is not the case. So, did not see that one coming. And then we cut to the war zone, the parking lot, where the Creed brothers have been beaten down. We don't know who or how, but just the aftermath. They've been beaten up, and it's unfortunate for them. They were supposed to have a tag title match with Imperium tonight, so that is a roadblock indeed in their plans. Tiffany Stratton coming up next takes on Fallon Henley. Things are going well for Tiffany when smoke starts appearing at the entrance, which distracts everyone. And then Saray appears on the other side, drop kicks Tiffany in the head, which allows Henley to hit a Shining Wizard and get the 3. And a huge upset. Another one.
Another huge upset. Yeah, this was okay. No.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really anything match-wise. Yeah, Saray has powers. She teleports, she transforms. I don't know what her deal is.
But I guess she's a baby face, no matter what. No matter what. She can change forms, teleport to a new side of the ring. We love supernatural shit. The Fiend was a baby face before he even stepped in the ring, just because we wanted to see exactly what your deal is. And Saray could be falling into that same kind of thing.
We'll see. LA Knight takes on Grayson Waller, last man standing match. So we get the weapons, the trash cans, the steel steps. Crowd's hot for Knight. They fight their way up onto a balcony, which Knight ends up punching Waller off of it, and he just falls to the floor off camera. So he's okay. They fight their way back to the ring. Sanga, is that the guy? The big manager?
Yes.
LA Knight smacks him with a chair, so he freaks out and hits Knight. Waller pulls out some handcuffs, but Knight manages to get them and cuffs Sanga to the ring post, so he's stuck there. And they get a table set up on the floor. Waller gets thrown over the ropes, crashes through the table. Knight picks him up, puts a trash can on his head, beats the shit out of him. Then eventually they go to the announce table, that elevated announce table. Waller pulls out a weapon. I think it's called a slapjack. Not the wrestler, the weapon.
No, that's I was going to say he's on Raw. I think it's called a blackjack.
A blackjack? Okay.
Yes.
Whatever it is, he smacks LA Knight in the face with that, knocks him out, lays out on the table, and then Waller climbs to the top ropes, hits his big diving elbow drop, crashing through the table. Crowd chants, "Holy shit." Refs makes his count. Waller's able to get to his feet by clinging to the back of Sanga, and LA Knight does not get to his feet, so the ref counts 10, and he's lost the match.
Grayson Waller wins by count out. You know what? The 2.0 set, they hadn't figured out all the camera angles yet. I felt like there was a lot. I felt like for this match type, there was a lot of weird shit we missed. Or felt a bit awkward. Does that make sense? Just because they weren't ready for the camera to be in that position, people to go exactly there. They need to fine tune that.
The announce table is very tight, close into the thing.
Exactly.
There's not as much room.
These kinds of things.
Not as much room. But that was that. It seems like LA Knight has lost this feud, and maybe he's getting called up to the main roster. Who knows? And
Grayson Waller's the top heel right now, I think. I'd say he's the top heel in NXT.
Definitely one of the top guys. Probably looking to challenge Braun Breaker sooner or later, or whoever may be the champ. But let's go. We got the other Dusty Cup semifinal match. Kaylee Ray and Io Shirai taking on Casey Catanzaro, Caden Carter. Wade Barrett and Vic Joseph are calling each other betas on commentary. Barrett says, "You are the master beta." So I don't know how that made it to air, but
yeah, I must have missed that. But hey, congratulations.
Yeah, congrats. On to the match. Some good tag wrestling here. Just good performance. Team KC just doing their high flying moves. Io climbs onto Caden's shoulders, and then Casey climbs up on top of both of them and hits a crazy reverse Rana, spiking Io down hard. But Io fights back, and soon after she hits the moonsault, gets the win. So her and Kaylee Ray head to the finals to face Wendy and Dakota.
I was thinking when I was watching this match, I feel like Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter are possibly... They're the only women's tag team that I would call an actual established tag team. And only because I feel like they've been wrestling together for 2 years now. Never doing singles shit, just the two of them for like 2.5 years.
They got matching gear now?
They have matching, yeah, exactly. Can you think of anyone else who... I mean, at least...
Not quite as long. I mean, India and Persia are been like a year now, it feels like, but maybe not. But no, definitely not nearly as long as Team KC.
Yeah, I don't know why they're so underused.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they got lots of cool moves.
Especially, like, we do this shit all the time, right? We throw Raquel Gonzalez and Cora Jade together at the last minute, have them compete for a thing, and then beat the team of people who are actually a team of people. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. But I guess we'll see if Wendy Chu and Dakota can pull off one more big upset to win the final.
Amen.
But we got some tag championship match. Imperium are still defending the belts. So we got MSK replacing the Creed brothers. And match was going pretty well. Nice fast-paced competitive bout. But then the Creed brothers run out, start beating the shit out of everyone because they're still pissed. And this match just gets thrown out.
But Imperium kept saying that they refused to admit about doing any attacking. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really get any conclusive answers, so this could be a mystery.
We just assumed parking lot, therefore,
Yeah, I mean, you kind of get what you... you play with fire, you get burned.
Amen.
But let's go to this main event. Triple threat match for the NXT title. Braun Breaker defending against Tommaso Ciampa and Dolph Ziggler. And, yeah, crowd was, rooting for all three guys at parts of the match, and... Breaker, the clear strength advantage here. He's able to pick up both men at once, double suplex. But what he has in strength, he lacks in experience, at least of the three here. But yeah, all three men give it their all. Crowd's into every minute of it. Breaker gets tossed aside. Ziggler hits Ciampa with a zigzag, but he kicks out. Ciampa goes for a fairy tale ending on on Ziggler. But Breaker runs in, spears him. And then Braun hits Ziggler with his press power slam finisher, goes to make the pin. But that's when Bobby Roode shows up, pulls the ref out, breaks the count. So Breaker goes after Bobby. Then he gets back in the ring, but Ciampa hits him with Willow's Bell and then hits the fairy tale ending. But then Ziggler runs in, shoves Ciampa, tries to steal the pin. But Braun Breaker still able to kick out of all that. So Ciampa runs in, kicks Breaker in the face. Roode pulls Braun to the floor. So now it's just Ciampa and Ziggler. Ciampa turns around right into a super kick from Dolph Ziggler. And Dolph gets the 1, 2, 3. New NXT champion. Who saw that coming?
And this was the shock of the week for sure.
Yeah, this was crazy.
Huge moment. Big moment for NXT 2.0. Crazy that... I didn't think this would be the way that Braun Breaker would lose the championship, of course, without getting pinned. The classic. That's a classic way. But this is gonna. Dolph Ziggler's not gonna end up on the WrestleMania card, so keep him on Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, he could main event that, drop the title back to Breaker, maybe.
Maybe tickets aren't doing too well.
I don't know. But,
for 9:30 a.m. on WrestleMania Saturday.
Braun Breaker, though, in disbelief as he got screwed here. And, big surprise, but fun. I like this. Dolph Ziggler. I mean, that'll create a little bit of buzz, I think. People will be like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, that'll pump it up. And, it's when we use all these young guys, all this green talent, sometimes you just need someone who can crush it. And Dolph Ziggler is a pro. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. But like I said, this was a night of upsets. We had like 3 of them here.
Yeah.
3 big upsets. So you never know in the world of wrestling, though. But that was it. What a crazy week. We had lots of cool matches.
Yeah, what a crazy week it was here in the professional wrestling world. Let's get to our very last segment then. Let's give you, it's time for our Wrestler of the Week.
It's the Wrestler of the Week. Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the Week. The Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the
Mike, I'll kick you off here on this one. Lot of great action, a lot of upsets, a lot of just exciting things on all of our shows this week. Really, between one of the R.K.O spots of the year in the R.K.O, upsets, Dolph Ziggler. But I have to go straight to our Revolution pay-per-view, and in something that wasn't even the best match on the card. But I gotta go straight to Sting. He's 62 years old. I mean, all the rest, the in-ring action we saw was what you kind of expect. What I expect from an AEW pay-per-view, especially from those guys in general. But I don't expect someone like my dad's age. Like I'm picturing my dad jumping off a fucking banister through four tables. And that's truly incredible. So Sting, you're my wrestler of the week.
Yeah, very well deserved. He delivers every time they put him in one of these big matches. Not only does he go out there, he does one of the biggest spots every time. So great to see. I'm gonna stick with AEW, but give it to another guy. I mean, these wrestlers, they give a lot. They give their bodies to this profession, but this guy donated buckets of his own blood twice in the same week. So I'm going to give it to CM Punk. Great match, great promos, and great use of blood. You don't want to overdo it, but in the right moments, it can make a lot more of an impact, and this is one of those times.
Do you think they have blood standing back, like on hand, backstage, like ready for an immediate kind of pump you back up? How does it work? Does shit work like that? I don't know.
I mean, they definitely have a paramedic or something, and I don't know if they just have a bag of blood for a transfusion right there and then. I don't know.
O negative.
I'm sure
O negative. Universal donor. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm sure he wasn't in danger. Like, even though it looked like a decent amount, it's pretty like the fact that it spreads on your face. I don't think he was in any danger of losing a lot.
No, I think he was fine.
Yeah, but the visual is great. The match was great. CM Punk, wrestler of the week.
And Sting, congratulations. What a great week it was. And hey, folks, thanks for listening to the episode. It was a lot of fun. Be back. Be sure to come back next week. The road keeps going. We might not have any pay-per-views to review in the immediate times, but of course, April 2nd and April 3rd, we are less than a month away from the show of shows. We got to get our prop bets in. Of course, that's something that we have to look forward to. We'll kind of finalize those sorts of categories here. And I really can't wait.
Yeah, we are on the highway doing 130 kilometers right now.
Whoa.
On the road to wrestling.
Woof.
We're speeding. We are speeding, folks, but just going with the flow of traffic. That's all.
Let's go with the flow. Stay safe out there. And Mike, you take care of yourself.
All right. Have a good week.